What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the All Things Philly podcast, hosted by myself, Ethan Reich. What a weekend of football this was in all three of the main football leagues across Europe, which is, in my opinion, the Premier League, Bundesliga, and La Liga. Starting in the Premier League, there were really two games I really want to talk about. I'm not going to talk about the Man City game because, I've been talking about them, I feel like, the last couple episodes, and all I could see them is winning the league. So I expected them to win 3-0 against Wolves. But I'm going to jump into the Tottenham versus Leicester game. A lot of action in this game as it finished 6-2 to Tottenham. After the first half, well, even during the first half, I saw this game might be a 3-2 either way. It's going to be won the last minute by either team because Leicester looked really, really good in the first half. A lot of chances they had. Same with Tottenham. They were going toe-to-toe with each other. And I thought it was anyone's game. Until Antonio Conte brought on a guy called Heung-min Son, who has been relatively quiet. I mean, not relatively. He's been really quiet this season. Hasn't scored a goal yet. Has looked pretty inconsistent in his 1v1s when dribbling the ball. So Conte decided to drop him for this game. Most likely a reason to get a response out of him when he got subbed on, which was imminent. It's Heung-min Son. You're not going to leave him on the bench the whole game, especially at home, a game like Leicester, which you probably should win. And he comes on around the 65th odd minute, I think, around there. Around the 60th minute. Scores a 13-minute hat trick, and the first two goals of that hat trick, oh my days. The one with the right foot where he just curled it in, top right, from the right hand side, just power curled it. Oh, it was beautiful. And then same thing on his left foot, curled it top left. Oh, beautiful. It's you saw his celebration and he looked angry. He looked like a man that's just been doubted and wrote off, and to come out like that and score a 13-minute hat trick in the second game of a game that was really, really equal and even between both sides, it's going to do Son a world of favors, especially when they play their next game against Arsenal at the Emirates. North London derby is going to be fantastic. I can't wait to watch that. But, yeah, what a game that was. And Leicester, before I talk about Arsenal, Leicester, 7 games played, 1 draw, 6 losses. I did not expect that from Leicester. I never expected to see Leicester in 20th position at the moment. You name some of their players: Harvey Barnes, Jamie Vardy, who yes is a bit older, James Maddison, Sayunchu, James Justin when they had Fafana, Indeed, who had a pretty bad error against Tottenham, leading to Bentancur's goal that really set the downfall of Leicester. You need some of those players you put them in a category where there's talent there. You know what I mean? There's a tier list of footballers in the Premier League, and those players I just named to be on one of the higher tiers. But that team does not belong in any. No player on that team belongs in any good talks right now about their quality and talent because they're in 20th position and only 1 point out of a possible 21 is just not what is needed, to say the least. I'm just so lost for words because I've always been heavy on Leicester after they won the league. I would never sleep on Leicester because they always have some form of players that surprised me. Last year, Daka, their striker, I remember him scoring 4 goals. I forgot against 2 in the Europa League, and I thought this guy's going to be next. He's been relatively quiet. Madison has been really good. He scored a great goal against Spurs. But again, he's been relatively quiet. Harvey Barnes has been really good at times and otherwise really quiet. And the rest of that team is just struggling, it feels like. So, yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with Leicester. I hope they don't get relegated because I really like a lot of the talent they have. If they do get relegated, at least 3 players I think are going to be on the transfer market, and that's James Maddison, Harvey Barnes, and probably James Justin because they're not going to want to play championship football. No way. But I thought after the first half, Leicester would be in with a shout to win, and they lose. They score. They concede 4 straight, and 3 in 13 minutes to Heung-min Son. So that's just unacceptable. I sure Brendan Rodgers' seat is on absolute thin ice. If there's a manager who you could bet on to be sacked, it's probably him. No offense, but 1 point out of 21 with a decent Leicester team is unnecessary, uncalled for. Yes, the players have to take responsibility, and a lot of the play hasn't been great. But in the first half today, it looked pretty good, and the manager has to come into question for some things. Like, we'll see what happens, but I think he's going to get sacked. It's almost imminent. He's probably sacked, in my opinion, when this video is coming out, so we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, otherwise a really good result from Tottenham. And like I mentioned, they play Arsenal next, which is the next game I want to talk about. 3-0 winners against Brentford today at Brentford, where last year they got destroyed by Brentford. Saliba, Jesus, and Fabio Vieira, the goal scorers for that one. Again, another class performance by Arsenal. I think I saw 2 shots from Brentford the whole game. They did not trouble Ramsdale at all. It was all Arsenal. Could have been 5 or 6, honestly. Saka had a couple chances he probably should have taken on better. Martinelli had one really good one in the opening minutes that he probably could have took a little bit better. But overall, a really good result that sets up a really good North London derby on Sunday. Can't wait for that game. Both teams in flying form, and Arsenal look untouchable right now, except for that Man United game where I thought they played really, really well. How far could Arsenal go? Can they keep this up? It's around 8 to 10 games in where you really understand like the quality of the team and like you see the direction they're going in. And Arsenal have only shown me good signs. Even in their only loss and their only drop of points, they showed me really good signs that they're legit this year. You see a lot of heart in that team. Every one of those players, whether starting 11 or reserves or bench, plays for Mikel Arteta. That team looks like such a controlled and organized unit. They're almost untouchable and unplayable at times, I feel like. Jesus, Martinelli, Saka, great front three. And the guy subbed in for Odegaard, Fabio Vieira, scored an amazing goal with his left foot in off the post from like 25 yards. Beautiful goal. So they have depth as well as a great starting 11. So we'll see how far they could go. Can they contend for the title? Yeah. Will they win the title? Probably not. But they'll give City a run. I'm pretty sure right now they're looking like the team best equipped to give City a run. Chelsea probably won't give them a run. Liverpool looking pretty weak. Tottenham's looking good. They're another team that could give them a run. So I'd say it's really these 2 North London teams, Tottenham and Arsenal, that could give City a run. And I'm praying for them to do so because even though I'm a Chelsea fan and I'm supposed to hate these teams, I'd love to see someone challenge Tottenham, Man City. So hopefully these teams can do it. So that was a really good performance to see. Arsenal batter Brentford 3-0. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the North London derby on Sunday, where got a team that just won 6-2 at home. And one of their best players, who was quiet, scored a 13-minute hat trick. And you had a team win 3-0 away, who are top of the league. So it's going to be a great, great game. I want to talk about Bayern Munich real quick because, yes, they won midweek against Barcelona in a game which Barcelona played well in as well. But they've lost another game in the league, 1-0 against Augsburg. I just want to know your guys' thoughts. Is it Bayern's time to finally lose the league? Because Dortmund, I believe, are top right now, and they don't look like they're slowing down, even though they just lost Marco Reus. But Dortmund have a lot more depth and reserve strength compared to Bayern, in my opinion. So we'll see if Dortmund and other teams can make a push for the Bundesliga because it looks like it's wide open right now. Bayern have, lost 2 games and drew 1, I believe. Something like that. not Bayern-esque of recent years, but hey, change is a beautiful thing, and hopefully we see another team fight for the top of the Bundesliga, which is really nice. And the final game I want to talk about is the Real Madrid game today against Atletico Madrid. That finished 2-1. After all the hate Vinny was facing, I was so happy to see Real Madrid win. This whole thing about Koke saying if Vinny dances, there's gonna be like serious problems. I was praying that Vinny scored a goal and just danced for like 5 minutes straight just to see all the Atletico Madrid fans like throw a fit. But that happened, but not to the extent I thought it was gonna happen. Rodrigo ended up scoring and danced with Vinny, and then all the Madrid players and fans like kicked off, and yeah, that was really cool to see. Vinny deserved the goal. He should have got the one Valverde scored because it hit the post, and I thought it was going in, and I knew Twitter would have went insane and Instagram would have went insane. So I was kind of praying Vinny scored a goal there, but you know, they'll score in the next game most likely. But yeah, I'm happy Real Madrid won. They're looking extremely strong. I know Barcelona just won the league as well, I think against Elche. So yeah, all three leagues are looking pretty tight. You got the La Liga between really Barcelona and Real Madrid, who look back to their galactic and unplayable selves. You have the Bundesliga, it's wide open with Dortmund and Leipzig at times looking like they're going to push for the lead with Bayern taking a step back. And you got the Premier League, teams like Arsenal, Spurs coming out of nowhere to maybe challenge Man City. It's a good start to the year for football, and hopefully it could continue. And I'll see you guys in the next episode.